There is Zomato, Swiggy, right? Pioneers. ऐसा नहीं लगा that I'm gonna be competing with the giants.
All large consumer internet opportunities will always have like competition.
What was the proof of the pudding that you said कि लग रहा है ये business चलेगा?
So there are going to be moments when you just woke up and you have to leave, but you want a coffee immediately. You're in the middle of 2 meetings in office, need a quick snack for example, and you can't plan around it. So all of these unplanned, functional, high frequency use cases is what we build Swish for.
अपनी 10 मिनट फूड डिलीवरी को समझाइए.
We use automated equipments in kitchen to prepare food with efficiency.
Are robots cooking?
Kind of.
Any marketing hacks that you found to get your business going?
We place this bag in offices, societies, or in residential areas at appropriate locations, and people start ordering because it's so bright green in color that if one person in office has ordered, everyone looks at this and says कि यार ये नया क्या है, वो try करना है.
What do you want to tell that young, 20, 22-year-old?
One is identifying a clear use case or a problem statement that you want to solve. Just focus on executing rather than thinking about it. Cut that large vision into like very, very small pieces of incremental execution is very important. Otherwise, people get lost.
What do you want to tell the youth?
If you try and build everything for everyone, you will end up building nothing for no one.
But कभी ऐसा लगा in these last 1.5 years कि नहीं बन पाया?
वो तो रोज लगता है.
So I am having my green tea in your cup and you're having your normal tea in the zip cup. Yeah. So we are very similar colors, by the way. Let's show the audience the color matching, right? Swish is green and green है तो zip है हम बोलते ही हैं. Welcome man. Welcome to the show. तो सबसे पहले मुझे आप 1 मिनट में अपनी 10 मिनट फूड डिलीवरी को समझाइए.
I think very simple. हम लोग 5 मिनट में खाना बनाते हैं और 5 मिनट डिलीवर करते हैं. हमने फूड बनाने के प्रोसेस को ब्रेक डाउन करके ऑप्टिमाइज किया है सो दैट हम लोग एग्जैक्टली जो भी चीज़ें फ्रेशली इमीडिएटली बन सकती है उनको हम लोग बनाते हैं एंड हम लोग ऑन एवरेज 1 किलोमीटर डिस्टेंस में डिलीवर करते हैं सो 10 मिनट में डिलीवरी ऐसे होती है.
Oh, within a kilometer. That the radius is 1 to 2 kilometers, right? That's where I read.
Our average distance per order is 1.1 kilometers right now.
Oh, that's it. So very, very hyperlocal.
Very dense.
Very dense. So you are from IIT Kharagpur, right? And you've done some work. तो ये आइडिया की शुरुआत से पहले क्या क्या किया अनिकेत ने और क्यों ये आइडिया पिक किया? Just take us through that.
I think so I've studied at IIT Kharagpur in college. Graduated from the batch of 2021. Right from the beginning, I was pretty sure I wanted to start something of my own at some point of time. So I said the best way to learn things would be to join early stage consumer companies right from the beginning. So I joined Jupiter right out of college. Jupiter was, I think 30-40 people at that point of time, so very early.
Jiten's company.
Yes, Jiten's company. I had reached out to Jiten directly on LinkedIn.
Wow.
And he was kind enough to sort of figure out an opportunity to a fresher out of college.
Wow. Jiten is very sweet.
Yes, he is.
Jiten, yeah.
So, joined Jupiter, worked on India's first credit on UPI product, which Jupiter had innovated at that point of time called Bullet. And scaled that very rapidly from 0 to almost 250 CR in transaction volume in a span of 6 months.
Wow.
So it was amazing. But of course, credit on UPI at that point of time was still gray in terms of regulation definitions.
True.
So RBI took some time to figure out the right rules around it, and the product was halted before it went live again. So I spent some time at Jupiter. It was very exciting. Moved to an even smaller company at that point of time called Pillow Fund. Pillow was a crypto investment platform.
Wow.
Crypto,
in India?
Yes. So they started from India before entire tax regulations had changed in India and built for the world. So from me and my current co-founders at Swish, all three of us worked there together. We had almost joined on day one of the company.
All three of you were there?
Yes.
Achha.
So we had joined almost on day one of the company.
Okay.
And we had seen the entire journey from scratch to acquiring millions of users in a span of 1.5 to 2 years across 5 continents.
Wow.
Nigeria and Africa being a very significant one out of that.
Right.
We had gone down personally also there to acquire users, host events, do a bunch of GTM, and it was a very exciting, smooth journey for us. Of course, the company was eventually not able to find enough product market fit and shut down while returning like 80% of the capital that they had raised back to the investors.
Okay.
So once the company shut down, I think for us it was like we have seen like couple of early stage journeys and one right from the start point, like one document के point of view से उस time से देखा है. So there was nothing that was going to be like more exciting for us than to start something of our own. Because we had been down to the very bottom to see sort of everything from scratch. So felt like the right time to start something. We were in between jobs at that point of time while we were figuring out our next big consumer opportunity. So I spent some time at Meesho to learn e-commerce at scale and got a really good opportunity to work on cross-category adoption at Meesho. Spent some time there before starting Swish. Swish, I think was an exciting idea at that point of time, and all the hypotheses we had around that have been proven over time in the last 18 months since we have started. The idea had essentially come from the fact that so we all three of us were sitting at a cafe, brainstorming ideas, looking at reports, talking to consumers, etc. It had been already like 4 p.m. or so, and we have not had lunch till that point of time. So we were sitting at a cafe. It was a brand new cafe, so there were like shortage of people at that point of time in the cafe. We ordered something. We were very hungry. We wanted something immediately. We ordered like a sandwich and a coffee, and it took like 30 minutes
for that cafe to
give it in the cafe. And we were like, we live in a country and a city which has like extreme convenience, but food is that category which has the most craving associated with it. Like food is that category where you need something immediately when you're craving for it. Not just from a demand standpoint, but also supply, because food gets bad by the time it's sort of delivered in a 40-50 minute time frame. Fries get soggy, beverages get lukewarm. So food actually was the category where this 10-minute convenience matters the most. And we were like, having seen convenience in sort of every category in the country, why is food, which is supposed to be the most convenient category in delivery and the most delightful category, if you could deliver it on time, be so slow? That's how we thought about starting Swish at that point of time.
Oh wow. And three of you were just vibing and then suddenly की food करते हैं 10 minutes, huh? तो cloud kitchen के through करते हो तुम लोग ये?
So so we have our own kitchens, what we call them as neighborhood kitchens. So these are like small 800 to 1000 square feet kitchens, tucked away in residential areas, near to where people live or work, and where food is sort of prepared by people who care about what they're cooking. So that is why we call them neighborhood kitchens. These are super compact, designed to be like a fresh food production engine. So very compact, very optimized, designed for peak efficiency and all of that. And we make our own food.
Everything yourself?
Yes, we took that call right on day one, because we knew that if we have to deliver high quality, fresh food in 10 minutes, restaurant infrastructure in India today, or restaurants, the overall market is not at that infra or density today to be able to say that we can deliver very quickly, very high quality. Domino's has done that well for a category like pizza.
Correct.
And they've done 20 minutes also for a lot of pin codes. But by far and large, most of the categories in India, it depends on which area you live in, which restaurants are nearby to you. Today, are there enough delivery partners available in your area to sort of come back and say that yes, these there is no sort of consistency or reliability sort of that is available when it comes to restaurants preparing food very quickly or delivering very quickly. So we said we will take this battle upon ourselves.
Wow. Now, you know that food is already a very highly penetrated category. There is a Zomato, there's a Swiggy, right? Pioneers built, crazy big businesses. ऐसा नहीं लगा that I'm going to be competing with the giants and entering as a startup, my first startup. ऐसा लग रहा था तीनों ने ये बात करी आपस में?
लग तो रहा था. But I think all large consumer internet opportunities will always have like competition. And if you have to build in a large category, there's competition is always going to be expected. But I think fundamentally we build for different use cases than what Swiggy Zomato solves for today. I think what we like, I think if you think around, you can't essentially plan your life around waiting 40-50 minutes for a delivery of orders. So there are going to be moments when you just woke up and you have to leave, but you want a coffee immediately. You are in the middle of 2 meetings in office and you need something quick, need a quick snack, for example, and you can't plan around it. So all of these unplanned, functional, high frequency use cases is what we build Swish for. I think there is a significant difference in terms of the use cases of food. So food people consume anywhere from like anywhere like 90 times a month, so 3 times a day, 30 days in a month, so 90 times a month. And Swiggy and Zomato still, while they're ubiquitous, people are still sort of focused on ordering from their particular restaurant, planned use cases. That I will plan that today I want to have this biryani from this restaurant.
Sure.
And they are brilliant at it. I think Swiggy, Zomato have solved for that every single place in the country. Every single restaurant is covered. And it solves pretty much everything. I think if you need that consistency, reliability in a very small time frame, I don't think they at this point of time are able to sort of provide that, which is where we come in. And we solve for a different use case than what Swiggy and Zomato do.
So which are the food items that you guys started with and how that has evolved over a period of time?
We started with 20. Now
20
we
food
have
items.
200.
200 now?
Yes, 200 freshly made food items in every single kitchen.
Okay. What were the 20? What are the top 5 in 20?
We started with like snacks and beverages because those are impulsive use cases.
And time banane mein bhi kuch nahi lagega.
Yes. So हमने start किया था samosas, fries, sandwiches, chai, coffee, cold drinks, shakes, all of that. But people kept on asking for more.
अच्छा.
Everything, like they said कि यार मुझे बिरयानी भी चाहिए, मुझे दाल चावल भी चाहिए, मुझे पिज़्ज़ा भी चाहिए, मुझे रोल्स भी चाहिए. So people kept asking for more. We have charts now, we have salads, so we focus a lot on healthy as well, given people want to consume healthy food now from outside as well. We have a lot of protein category of food that we have sort of introduced. I think we have now close to 16-17 categories of food, right from idli sambar to a biryani to dal chawal, fries, hazelnut latte, everything. So you can imagine any food item and most likely you'll end up finding it on Swish.
Wow. That's even biryanis.
Yes.
And all of this is prepared within the 5 minutes that you're talking about?
Yes.
So what's the math behind it? What's the science behind it?
I think it's essentially boils down to how well you're able to break down the food preparation process and optimize it for preparation in that 5-minute time frame.
Yeah. So you've broken down the food making process, have the ingredients, have the right tawa, have the right, things so that people... And how many people work in your cloud kitchen?
At any point of time, about...
Neighborhood kitchen. Yeah.
5 to 6 people at any point of time.
That's it?
That's it.
5 to 6 people.
Yeah.
Serving, and one kitchen typically would do how many orders?
I think it can go from a few hundred orders a day to some kitchens also crossing like 1,000 orders a day now.
Wow. In Bangalore?
Yes.
Yeah. And you're currently in Bangalore?
Yes.
हाँ? तो एक kitchen तुम लोग ने बनाई होगी, वहाँ से शुरू किया होगा within the certain pin codes. Can you talk about that journey of doing the 0 to 1? How difficult was that? What was the proof of the pudding that you said कि लग रहा है ये business चलेगा?
It felt almost impossible to sort of have no background in food, set up a kitchen from scratch, figure out recipes for making 25 items in a time frame of 5 minutes and deliver and all of that. So it was obviously very operations heavy. And but we knew that once we had done like very initial pilots at our home kitchen, we knew that the customer demand existed. So so the first pilot was at my home kitchen. We went live with a croissant and a coffee, and we delivered it to our friends in a matter of 10 minutes. And then they came back, and then at like 10 p.m 11 p.m they came back and said, yeah, I want it right now, but we had only planned it for like a 3-4 hour pilot. So we knew that the demand existed. So we did an experiment around it. We set up a kitchen from scratch. This is an HSR layout, Bangalore.
That's where all the startups start from, after all. That's HSR or Kurmangla.
So we took a very small kitchen, about 250 square feet in space. We went live with these 25 SKUs, snacks and beverages primarily. We designed the kitchen to be very compact, very optimized for minimal movement for each of the person in the kitchen also, so that they are able to focus most of their time on collecting all the ingredients and cooking and all of that sort of stuff. So that's how it started. When we went live, I think we got about 50 orders on day one. And I think
without any marketing?
No. So there's a interesting story behind it. We had gone live, but of course we were not getting any orders. So we didn't know what to do, and we were live in HSR. What we said we will do is we'll just make a small post on social media about it. We will post on LinkedIn and Twitter, because HSR also has that audience who's very experimentative in nature, and who will be very active on these platforms, and will try out any new sort of thing that comes up. So we made a small post. It blew up. It went viral. It went viral to like getting millions of views in that 5 to 6 hour time frame.
Is it?
So it went viral, and of course because of that, everyone who was in HSR and was viewing that post said, I'll try this. So we got 50 orders on day one. It was covered in every media article the next day. We were Swish was known everywhere in a matter of a day, just by doing a small organic post from our account on Twitter and LinkedIn. Twitter back then, X now. So we did that. That got us 50 orders on day one.
Amazing.
Within the next 3 days, 70% of the people came back and said and they placed another order. We of course were not built to cater that demand on day one. We had planned like 5, 10, 15 orders a day, and we did not have that capacity, but orders were flowing through. So then we sort of built up supply even better. And
amazing, man. That's crazy. Goosebumping moment that you start something and suddenly it just goes for crazy. But I'm sure that it would not have been so easy even after that, because मैंने उसके बाद देखा that a lot of competition came into your category, right? I think Zomato launched Bistro, and then I think कहीं सभी ने Zepto Cafe, and everyone launched something or the other. So did that now shudder the 3 founders who were building कि भाई हमें ये करना था, अब इतने सारे लोग आ गए हैं? क्या navigation चल रहा था उस समय?
I think we of course knew this is a very large category, so there is sort of no limit in terms of how big this can get. So competition really did not affect us a lot. We wanted to focus on doing our execution the best, make high quality tasty food, and continue to deliver in 10 minutes. I think customers will keep coming back. That's what we sort of focused on, and we've navigated through that.
That's very good. I think that's one of the principles that even I have learned कि यार ये लोग तो आएंगे जो कि आपको नीचे करने की कोशिश करेंगे, दबाएंगे, आप नहीं कर पाओगे, ज़्यादा पैसे भी लेके आएंगे. But if you focus on your core, your game, that how do I get better, then I think you'll always emerge out. In fact, मैंने अभी recently ये भी देखा, शायद Swiggy has shut down the service. The snack thing or something.
Recently, yes.
है ना? तो क्यों Swiggy ने कुछ सोचा कि Swiggy ने क्यों बंद किया होगा?
Not sure about why they decided to do it. Of course, we continue to grow very rapidly every single month.
Yeah.
So we are seeing very positive momentum.
In fact, the first thing that you shared with me is that you guys are now launching Gurgaon.
Yes.
Yeah, soon, coming soon. Very nice. अब एक बात बताओ, ये IITian होने का फायदा आता है जब आप, I think you've raised some good capital. You've raised from Axel
Yes.
and other investors. How much you've raised? Can you share that number?
We've raised 16 million so far.
16 million is raised so far, and from great investors like Axel and others. So kya raha? Is that the IITian tag which helped? Is that the business model which helped? Is that the team which helped? Because a lot of people who come on the show are builders. They want to become founders like yours, right? So can you give them some tips on how to raise this fund from such good investors?
I think our focus was specifically on figuring out what use case are we going to solve for the consumer. We said we are going to solve all the impulsive food use cases that people have that can't be solved by traditional model of food delivery that exists today. We will build only and only for that. And then we focused on once that the problem statement was clear, we only focus on execution. So we said we'll go live with one kitchen, focus only on a limited set of SKUs first, make that possible to deliver high quality in 10 minutes. Of course, when the investors saw the execution, they were very clear. The market is very large. The problem statement is very clear. The execution that has happened in a very short time frame is also on spot. Yeah, I think those were the sort of factors that helped us do this.
Got it. And do you think anywhere else in the world 10-minute food is happening?
No.
No, nowhere else. Yeah. Okay. Very interesting, because I think 10-minute commerce also or fast commerce also has picked up in India like anything and nowhere else, because the way that our country is wired, possibly, we are the right market for that. And now there's verticalization of many other things in 10 minutes, which is happening. Fashion is one, pharma is another, food you guys are cracking. But you're seeing this category to thrive. And because one of the concerns that I keep reading in these reels and stuff is that लोगों को ऐसा लगता है ये जो 10-minute food है वो इतना fresh नहीं होता, right? So how do you cater to that audience?
Yeah, I think we essentially upfront clearly mention about our ingredients on the app. We and anyone who has sort of tried our food will never say that the food was frozen, because we don't make it frozen. We make it fresh. We are very conscious about the quality of food that we want to deliver. We knew from day one we would want to make the food that we can consume on an everyday basis, and that's how we've thought about it. The selection of ingredients, the process of cooking, the finishing around quality, how the food should look like, what the temperature should be, taste should be, texture should be. All of it is something that we have been very, very selective about. So anyone who has tried Swish is very confident of the quality of food that we bring on the table.
Quality is going to be very critical.
Yes.
But now that you're spreading towards so many other food items like an idli sambar also and a biryani also, still maintaining that with that operational rigor, is that going to be easy, tough? What's the level of difficulty that you see?
Business is not easy. I think I'm pretty sure this business is not easy. It requires execution. I think that's why we've sort of focused very clearly on one market first. We were very specific on cracking the city of Bangalore, building a supply chain from grounds up around food first. Now that we've done it, we are confident that we'll be able to take it to a pan-India level.
Okay. How many cities planned over the next year or so?
Many.
Yeah?
Many.
And many more fundraisers in plan?
I think fundraisers are never a plan. I think it's essentially like you sort of prove out that you could do this at a much bigger scale, and investors then bet on the company and the founders that they can essentially make that scale possible. I think it's usually a catalyst and not a plan that essentially all of us end up making, right?
बैंगलोर में ट्रैफिक इतना ज़्यादा है और इतने ज़्यादा ट्रैफिक में तुम 10-minute डिलीवरी का प्रॉमिस कर रहे हो. कभी ये सोचा कि ट्रैफिक में ही बंदा 20 मिनट फंस जाएगा, फिर क्या होगा?
So we do not deliver in we are, the kitchens are essentially located inside residential areas. An average distance per order is like 1 kilometers on average, almost 1.1 kilometers on average. So it doesn't take anywhere more than 5 minutes for any delivery partner on average, because these are like small residential kitchens, small neighborhood kitchens tucked away in residential areas. They don't most likely they don't have to cross any signals or anything like that to deliver the order.
But एक बात बताओ, मतलब you are from IIT Kharagpur, you were in a decent job, you've done 2-3 startups, I'm sure you were at a good CTC. तो वहाँ से to jump and build a startup, what goes inside? What is it that pushes you? How the parents react? Talk about that.
Yeah, I think like I mentioned, once you've gotten to the scratch of building something, like got into the levels of building something from scratch, there is nothing more exciting that can be there for any aspiring entrepreneur. I think once we saw the entire journey of Pillow Fund from scratch, we knew that nothing like going to any other work opportunity job would not give us that sort of excitement that we would get from starting something of our own. Of course, it was difficult to convince family, but I've done it at multiple points of time. I joined a very early stage company right from college. So I had built up that confidence in them that I'll figure something out. And this was an extension to that.
Okay.
That give me 12 to 18 months, I'll figure something out.
Wow. How are they feeling now?
Of course, happy. Very happy.
Oh, amazing. Good to hear that, man. But what do you want to tell that young, 20, 22-year-old who's again somewhere in the college, wants to build, but has a lot of confusion and fear in the market? What are those 2-3 things that that person should do to jump into entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I think it all boils down to the two things that I mentioned. One is identifying a clear use case or a problem statement that you want to solve for the end consumer. It could be a consumer, it could be a business, it could be anything, but I think there has to be a clear use case or problem statement backward, and not necessarily like doing X for Y or things like that. That comes up a lot. Second is, once you've sort of narrowed down on the problem statement, just focus on executing rather than thinking about it. I think a lot of us end up, and we've done that mistake also at Swish. We ended up spending like 2 weeks, close to 2 weeks, like spending time just thinking about what would that perfect large network of kitchens will look like. And we said, let's cut it all. We will just do one kitchen, 20 SKUs and all of that, just to get started, rather than dreaming about setting up 10 kitchens at the same time from scratch. So just focus on incrementally building rather than I think that ability to sort of cut that large vision into like very, very small pieces of incremental execution is very important. Otherwise, people get lost in the early stage of journey.
Correct. No, that's a very good point that you've said. लोगों को लगता है मुझे पहाड़ चलना है, बट अगेन पहला स्टेप तो वही है ना कि आप गाड़ी उठा के कहीं पहुंचोगे, फिर पहाड़ पे पहला कदम रखोगे. एंड पीपल जस्ट डोंट स्टार्ट जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ दिस प्रॉब्लम कि मुझे वो 5,000 करोड़ का बिजनेस बनाना है, बट पहला तो 5 रुपए बनाना सीख लो. एंड आई थिंक दैट्स अ ग्रेट वे टू थिंक अबाउट इट. डू योर फर्स्ट किचन, डू योर फर्स्ट 10 customers, learn from it, keep expanding from there, right?
Exactly.
The three of you started and you were working together. क्या ऐसा chemistry co-founders में लगी कि कहा कि यार हम तीनों को ही बनाना है, मतलब, and that's also a checklist while you answer that. जब लोग अपने co-founders ढूंढते तो क्या देखना चाहिए उनको?
Yeah, I think complementary skill sets. I think our skill sets are like so beautifully complementary in nature that we couldn't have found a better trio to than us to sort of doing something together. If not this, some other thing that we would have started. But I think we are very complementary in terms of like what our strengths and weaknesses are, what our styles of working are. What are but also very sort of similar in terms of what kind of opportunities do we want to sort of build in. We were all very clear that we wanted to build in very large consumer markets. We were very clear that all of us bring like different skill sets to the table, and if three of us sort of go out and do this together, we'll be able to crack it at least at a 0 to 1 level ourselves.
और प्लस आई थिंक विजन कॉमन होना चाहिए.
Yes,
that's very important. While they are complementary skill sets, but the three of you see the same dream.
Yes.
Same dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there are going to be infinite number of moments in the journey which are going to sort of pull you down, which are going to be like questioning why you're doing all of this, and there will be like questions around yourself, questions around why we are doing this, why we should do this, and all of that. So to remove that, I think having that clarity, there is a document on Y Combinator's website which says what are the questions you should ask to any person who you are starting with, and that's a beautiful checklist. We had done that exercise.
Oh, nice.
We were able to get a lot of comfort and clarity about each other before we
We
actually
did that
jumped
exercise actually.
in. Yes.
Huh?
Yes, before we jumped in.
Maybe we'll share the
Yes.
link of this Y
Yes.
Combinator video
Definitely.
as part of this thing. But 200 SKUs बनाओगे, कितने बनाने का प्लान है आगे?
I think जितने बन सकते हैं और जितने consumers को चाहिए. I think we do not see a theoretical limit at this point of time inside our kitchens. We always thought 50 से ज़्यादा नहीं हो पाएंगे. We were able to cross that. We crossed 80, 100, 150, 200 now. We can easily do like 300 at this point of time, and we can always expand our kitchens to be able to do more. We do not see a theoretical limit at this point of time.
I understand there's no theoretical limit, but don't you think that if you do, let's say, the top 100 very well, and the customers know कि यार ये 100 जो है ना मुझे बहुत clean, बहुत fresh, perfect time पे मिलता है. So because once you keep going down, then your expenses will continue to increase, right? And maybe there's one order उसके लिए आपने इतनी inventory रख रखी है. I'm sure that you're modeling all of that, but
Yes.
less SKUs can also
So we
this
do
job
that.
well.
We churn SKUs which are not
You're doing that.
selling with high volume.
Sure.
We keep on doing that. We keep on introducing new SKUs. Food is that category where the 100 is not same for everyone. Groceries may things work like that because everyone will still want the same top 5 most common groceries. But food is a category where everyone has their own different preferences, variety, taste, subjectivity that they need. So we need to keep introducing, refreshing the menu and all of that, so that we continue doing. We are at this point of time probably the fastest in terms of any food brand who introduces so many items a month. I think at this point of time we introduce like about 20 to 25 new SKUs every single month. And we churn SKUs that are not performing well. We are very clear about that. If any SKU, for example, is not selling X times a day, we will churn it out.
In fact, मैंने कहीं पढ़ रहा था कि आलू, टमाटर, प्याज, नमक और पानी, अगर ये 5 चीज़ें आपने सस्ते में बेच दी तो आपकी लाइन लग जाएगी कहीं, right? So maybe I'm sure that you are juggling out your ingredients and building that. But very interesting business, I must say. And the way that you're saying that the growth is happening, the economics is working out. Look forward to, in fact, taste the first product from you guys, right? But again, coffee is such an important need in quick commerce in 10 minutes. But one thing that I have experienced is that coffee, when you order, it's not the best quality, right? Maybe they're just mixing it up and sending. तो उसमें कुछ आपने innovation करने की कोशिश करी है या quality? How are you giving the best top quality coffee?
I'm sure you've not tried our coffee. Otherwise, you would have not said that. So we use exactly the same machines, for example, that Starbucks or Blue Toka, Starbucks or Blue Toka uses. We train our baristas at exactly the same level as some of these companies do. So, for example, in any category of food that we build in, we try and match it to the highest or the best player in the category, or even better than them. So food quality is top notch. Our focus is always on ensuring that the food quality, even if you ask me today, between food quality and 10 minutes, what I'm going to pick more, it is always going to be food quality.
That's very, very critical for you. And I'm so happy to hear. In fact, I was saying कि कोई वो एक अच्छी सेम बरिस्ता या फिर Starbucks वाली मशीन ही लगा दे और 10 मिनट कर ले. And if you're doing that, then I'm looking forward to try my first black coffee with you guys, right?
Yes.
As you go live, right? But who's your TG? Have you thought about the real TG? Because there'll be some experimentalists, there'll be some guys who'll try once in a while. But जो daily 10-minute food चाह रहा है, वो कौन है?
Primarily working population. So people, young working population who I do not really have regular sort of option of consuming every meal from their home and all of that. sometimes the cook has not come in, or they want to eat something from outside but need something very quickly. So everyone who's sort of money rich, time poor, is that one category that we are able to acquire easily. There is of course a young population of um, um, just people who are sort of in their final year of college or graduating, who are also very excited, who just gotten access to their first internship capital or things like that, and they also sort of want to they consider Swish as a lifestyle brand, and they want to like be associated with this cool quick food lifestyle brand that we are, and they also order frequently from us.
Okay, that's very interesting. And what is the marketing hack? Any marketing hacks that you found to get your business going?
I'm not sure, do we have our bag here? So what we do is we place this bag at empty bag in offices or in societies or in residential areas at appropriate locations,
Okay,
and people start ordering
that's it.
because it's so bright green in color that if one person in office has ordered, everyone looks at this and says कि यार ये नया क्या है, मेरे को try करना है. Food is also that category where people want to try something new,
Yeah.
something trendy, and we just sort of place this empty bag. This is we did not know this, but someone told us eventually that Red Bull had used this as a strategy.
Okay.
They used to place like empty cans in dustbins, because of which people realized that everybody's having Red Bull, so I need to have Red Bull.
Oh, nice.
And this has luckily worked out very well for us.
Amazing.
So how we also like went about our first set of GTM in Bangalore was we were live in HSR layout. HSR layout has a large number of young early stage companies. We essentially said that we will do a B2B like GTM. We will essentially try and sample our food at all of these companies. We'll take free food, or we'll place bags there, and once people try it out, we're very confident they're going to come back, and that has worked out really well for us. So first probably like 100 to 200 orders would have just a day would have just come from this.
Just placing bags
Yes.
at various places.
Yes.
That's so nice. In fact, now I can see because ये green है, बिल्कुल एकदम zip वाली feel आ रही है, तो
Yes.
हमारे scooters भी यही काम करते हैं.
Exactly.
जब सड़क पे वो दिख जाते हैं ना, तो मतलब
Exactly.
काम हो जाता है हमारा.
Yeah.
We don't have to spend even a penny on marketing. Just the scooters do the talking for us.
Exactly.
Yeah. Aniket में पिछले 1.5 साल में, before building the startup and after now building, how big is the team?
Almost 150.
150 people team. So अनिकेत में स्टार्टअप बनाने से पहले और अभी 1.5 साल बाद क्या बदलाव आया?
Kafi. I think I have fully changed. But I think the one thing that I have sort of learned the most is patience. I think because we are all of us are in that sort of phase where it's a very rapidly growing company, and there is of course a lot of excitement when growth happens, right? Like everyone is very excited when growth happens.
Sure.
So when there are a couple of weeks or things like that, when because of like, imagine like Bangalore is also an area where people go out in festivities. People are not there, and so Diwali में Bangalore काफी खाली होता है and all of that. So जब वो weeks आते हैं तब इतना growth नहीं होता है, तब वो लगता है कि यार क्या कुछ हम लोग गलत कर रहे हैं and all of that. तो वो impatience kick in होता है, but have sort of tried and learned how to become more patient, become more mature, because as we now scale from like where we are to like from a 1 to 100 sort of a journey, I think it is going to be very, very important for us to sort of have the right mindset and continue to execute. So patience is something that I've sort of learned a lot in the last 15 months or so.
Yeah, patience, persistence. Yeah.
Yes.
Your business is very asset heavy, right? So there is a cloud kitchen which is involved. Your delivery will have to be done. I don't know. We'll talk about delivery logistics. That's a good topic that I'd like to talk about. And I'm sure a lot of people would have asked this question, that why asset heavy, right? Why can't you just have kitchens who can cook in 10 minutes and deliver on your platform? So how did you navigate that?
I think there is innovation on the kitchen side that we have done. We use automated equipments in kitchen to prepare food with efficiency. So I don't think there are kitchens today anywhere, not just in India, but I think almost globally, if I'm not wrong. No kitchens are there which can cook high quality food like us in 5 minutes. So this is the innovation that we have done. It was not possible to sort of procure food from somewhere and deliver in a timely time frame, because the quality would not have remained intact. The density is not really there. All of these sort of challenges would always be there.
But there's a lot of automation, you're saying?
Yes.
Are robots cooking?
Kind of. So we have these equipments like fryers, for example, which are automated. So the people in the kitchen need to press like one button, and the entire process of the basket going down and coming back up in the exact defined time frame at the and frying at the exact temperature is something that is already built into the machine. So the inconsistency that is often an issue with food players is something that we eliminate. We are thinking of, so our business is technically like an FMCG business, where food is essentially being prepared at scale, but the production is happening very close to consumption, unlike FMCG. So we do like heavy innovation in our backend.
Oh, wow. And what about logistics, last mile? How are you handling that?
We work with vendors right now. We've not built our own fleet as of now, so we work with vendors. Last mile has also been a problem that a lot of companies have solved over the last few years in the country, including Zip. And we continue to sort of work with vendors to deliver food like a dedicated model. So riders, delivery partners are stationed at our kitchen. They pick the order, deliver in a kilometer and come back.
तो क्या गोल है अनिकेत ने बिजनेस क्यों स्टार्ट किया?
The excitement that I and my co-founders also get from building something from scratch and solving a core problem for people like us is very high. So we get excitement out of it, we get energy out of it, we get like happiness out of it. And I don't think there is any substitute to it that would sort of excite us equally. So the goal was always to find that enthusiasm of doing something that is fundamentally unique at scale and probably like works at a population scale, and the goal is to always build towards that.
Interesting. And how do you solve for the challenges, let's say, and how do you learn in this process, right? जब समझ में आता है कि नहीं हो रहा, ये problem solve नहीं हो पा रही, right? What's the journey of navigation that?
I think building the right team, honestly. Now that we are decently sized in terms of number of people we have built a very strong layer of our leadership team who have seen all of these problem statements in some form or the other in the past. Of course, they are also very first principles people by design. We are also. So we try and approach problem statements from a first principle lens as much as possible. But of course, if we have like strong leaders who have seen and solved problem statements like these in the past, it becomes much easier to work with them and see them beautifully executed in ways that you wouldn't have even thought of. So I think it's a shared, it's largely sort of driven by the team problem statements. I think we are essentially like at this point of time enablers for the team to like do their execution wonderfully.
So I'm sure you're pretty young. How old are you, if you can share?
I am 26.
26. And who's the oldest member in the team?
The oldest member would be like 43, 44. Yeah.
And handling what?
HR.
You're HR head, right? So कैसा, मतलब when you hire someone senior like that, right, and they look at you as a youngie, क्या चल रहा था, कैसे discussion होता है, and how do you close that? How do you feel after that?
Yeah, I think it's unique. I think I've always wanted to like work with like extremely smart, talented senior people always in my career, and now I get the easiest opportunity to sort of make that happen while I can also figure out how to work with them. So it's unique in a way because of course they would have worked with founders who are sort of like much older in journey, but I think they were, when we pitched to them, they are very clear about the fact that they've seen how our execution is, what our vision is, and they want to be a part of the company that can essentially fundamentally build for the next big thing in consumer or food in India. I think that's an opportunity that equally excites them, and we are very nice people to work with also. So yeah.
And when you hire someone, what are a few things that you would want to ask that person?
I think between the three of us, I think we are very clear that we want to get like smart people who are hungry to solve complex, challenging problem statements, and those people have to be very high quality. You can always get people who have lots of experience, who have lots of time that they've spent at exactly companies who are trying to do some parts of your business and all of that. So you could easily get them, and they would always be available. But we don't look out for people who are actually looking out for jobs. I think that's something that we've seen doesn't work really well for us.
Good point.
People, the best people we have found have been people we've reached out to ourselves and have been extremely difficult or incredibly difficult to convince. So we try and get a lot of we ask a lot of our angel investors or founders who we know, who are some of the best people that they have worked with, and try and reach out to them and get them, because the quality of people that you can get, if that bar is very high, you end up essentially solving and building the company in a much easier manner than you would otherwise.
Top quality talent,
Yes,
hunger
yes,
deep inside,
yes,
right? And must have solved some challenges,
Yeah.
right? Those are three things that even, I look at when I'm hiring someone. Yeah. But obviously I didn't start like that. Top quality talent के लिए हमारे पास उतने पैसे नहीं होते थे. We used to, kind of figure out the second, and third
yeah.
ticks.
You start somewhere, I think,
Yeah.
obviously, and then you level up always.
Yeah. तो कुछ कोर चीजें पूछता हूँ स्विश के बारे में, राइट? व्हाट इज दैट वन प्रोडक्ट जो कि सबसे ज्यादा ऑर्डर आता है?
I think it keeps changing, but snacky बहुत ज़्यादा आता है. So we have charts that really sell a lot. We do have sandwiches that work really well. Biryani is of course the top seller. So biryani sells a lot. We have desserts, pizzas, beverages में cold coffee, tea. All of these are like very high frequency. So none of the SKUs, for example, for us, have more than, let's say, 3-4% sale share. It's very distributed.
It's not like that one hero product.
कोई hero product नहीं है. Swish is not known for a hero product. Swish is known for 10 minutes high quality food delivery. Anything and everything that you can get.
But let's say one thing that Aniket orders the most. What is that?
Chai.
Chai. Along with?
Biscuit.
Chai and biscuit. That keeps the entire Bangalore running, it seems.
Yes. Yes.
हाँ. और Bangalore में अगर कहीं बाहर जाके खाना है, तो which is the place that you would want to pick?
I like Pizza Bakery a lot.
अच्छा. Okay. और एक बात बताओ, in your business again there will be order patterns. शाम को सबसे ज़्यादा orders आएंगे, सुबह शायद कम आते हो. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I think that's the most unique part about our business, honestly. So we see, so if you divide like slots of the day, like breakfast, lunch, snacks, dinner and late night, 5 slots. तो हमारा 20% वॉल्यूम सारे 5 स्लॉट्स में.
20.
Yes.
अरे वाह.
Yes.
अच्छा, that's amazing.
because सारे टाइप के आइटम्स अवेलेबल है हमारे पास, and people are hungry from anywhere from 8 a.m. to like 2 a.m. So we get equal demand across all of these use cases. It's not like lunch or dinner heavy. Where people order from outside.
And because snacks run throughout the day.
Yes.
किसी के लिए breakfast snack बन जाता है, किसी के late night party के बाद snacks.
But कुछ तो interesting orders भी आते हैं. So I think कभी रात को 1:30 बजे फ्राइज के ऑर्डर आना ऑब्वियस है, बट साथ में कोई फ्रूट बोल ऑर्डर कर लेता है.
मेरे जैसा भी कोई होगा ना वहाँ पे पार्टी में.
बट फ्राइज और फ्रूट बोल साथ में ऑर्डर कर लेते हैं. अभी तो हमने एक पैटर्न भी देखा था. आई थिंक वी हैव डन सम लाइक मार्केटिंग एक्टिवेशंस एट जिम्स एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट इन द मंथ ऑफ जनवरी. व्हेन वी डिड दैट, आई थिंक we expected people who were activated there to order like oats from us, to order like salads or protein shakes or things like that from us. But what they again ended up ordering was more of Maggie, fries, sandwiches, etc. because they were like, यार हमने जिम करके इतना एफर्ट तो कर लिया है, मुझे कुछ ट्रीट चाहिए.
सही बात है. Yeah.
So these are like some interesting order behavior also that we see.
Protein shakes bhi, are you delivering in 10 minutes?
We are starting now.
You're starting now? Yeah, that can be an amazing category. Protein is the next big thing.
Yes.
Right, in the country.
Yes.
And if you can create only a protein...
We have like 25 items already in the protein category that we serve.
Yeah. With showing how much protein it has?
Yes.
On the app?
18 grams, 23 grams, 27 grams, everything.
That's very good. That's I think, in itself, that can be a game-changing category.
Yeah, fastest growing category also for us in the last couple of months.
Have you talked about it anywhere?
We do on app, we do on ads, we do on offline posters.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
That's very good. Yeah, because that's the next mega trend according to me. Yeah. Okay. तो एक बात बताओ, कभी ऐसा हो गया कि 10 मिनट का ऑर्डर कमिट किया है, 20, 25, 30 मिनट लग गए, होता ही होगा, राइट? हाउ डू यू हैंडल दैट? कस्टमर क्या बोलता है?
सो हम लोग कस्टमर को उनकी जो फेवरेट आइटम होती है, जो उन्होंने सबसे ज़्यादा बार ऑर्डर की होती है हमें, वो हम उनको गिफ्ट कर देते हैं. वी हैव अ गिफ्ट फीचर इन दी ऐप.
अच्छा, लेट होता है तो?
यस. सो हम लोग उनको वही आइटम गिफ्ट कर देते हैं बिकॉज हमने मिस्टेक हमारे एंड से हुई. सो वो हम लोग कर लेते हैं एंड पीपल आर वेरी हैप्पी अबाउट दैट.
अच्छा, कितनी बार हो जाती है ऐसी मिस्टेक?
रेयरली, आई थिंक. इतना लेट तो कभी नहीं होता है, बहुत कम.
मान लो 10 का 15 हो गया.
I think sometimes people are fine with it. So they also understand, like, for example, when people order more than 3 items from us, we do not say 10. We say 12-13 मिनट लगेंगे. 5-6 आइटम ऑर्डर तो हम लोग बोले 15-17 मिनट लगेंगे. So we are also flexible in that time frame because people understand food preparation will take time. So we adjust accordingly.
Okay. यूथ को क्या आप बोलना चाहोगे जिनके पास बिजनेस आइडिया है और जस्ट कूदना चाहते हैं, राइट? तो what do you want to tell the youth?
I think first understand like who are you building it for, the right user segment or the right use case. किसके लिए क्या build कर रहे हो? I think that segmentation or narrowing down on the user segment or the use case is very important before you sort of say I'm building everything for everyone, because that never works out. If you try and build everything for everyone, you will end up building nothing for no one.
True.
So you have to be very clear on which user segment or which use case, either of that or both ho to best for whom you're building. That's number one. Second is, once you do that, try and figure out the most like the least complex way of sort of launching that. Like for us it was like, यार हम एक छोटा सा किचन लेके हम लोग 20 आइटम्स लाइव करेंगे और एक एरिया में डिलीवर करेंगे. उससे हमें समझ में आएगा कि यार इसका डिमांड है कि नहीं, लोग कितनी बार ऑर्डर कर रहे हैं, उनको क्या पसंद आ रहा है, कौन सा आइटम्स हमें ऐड करने चाहिए, किस टाइप का कस्टमर ऑर्डर कर रहा है, 10 मिनट में पहुंच रहा है नहीं पहुंच रहा है, ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स. सो ट्राई एंड फिगर आउट द most simplest way of launching that, so that you don't end up spending 6 to 12 months just in thinking or making a plan, but rather executing within a very small time frame. So narrowing down the use case or user segment followed by incremental execution is something that is very very important.
सबसे बड़ा ग्रोथ हैक इस जर्नी में तुम लोग ने लगाया होगा, कुछ एक अनलॉक हुआ होगा, right, in the last 18 months. Can you talk about 1 or 2 of those unlocks?
I think there are obvious things that we have done that most of the companies end up doing. You go out and do offline activations. You go out, you run ads. You do a referral program to acquire users and all that. So we've done all of these like usual activities, but I think what we have consciously built right from day one, as I was talking about it till now, is that we have had a clear focus on having a LinkedIn strategy.
Okay.
And this is like organic LinkedIn strategy where we are not asking or paying anyone to post about us, but what we are doing is making sure we are very active there, because the core user persona that we have is definitely active there, and we will be able to find that user subset the highest on LinkedIn. So we have constantly talked about the kind of food that we prepare, the process behind preparation, what our kitchens look like, how have we grown, which areas have we launched in. So every area launch was announced on LinkedIn. So all of these things we have consciously done on LinkedIn, because that is where we find our user persona, and that has like paid like a lot of dividends for us, because once you start doing it, users also start doing it. Because users also want to associate with the brand that is in trend. And when users do it, there is a cascading effect that sort of happens, because of which everyone then reads about Swish every other day on LinkedIn, which is where it puts you in a great spot to have a recall in the mind of the consumer very often. So हर दूसरे दिन पे स्विच का कुछ पोस्ट आ रहा है यूजर के साइड से या स्विच के साइड से, एंड दीज आर ऑल ऑर्गेनिक, नथिंग पेड फॉर. That helps you bring that recall beyond the usual activities you end up doing. So this is something that has worked out well. I don't think anyone still thinks or would have thought of doing a LinkedIn strategy for a B2C food platform ever, but it has worked out really well for us.
So true. You know, LinkedIn पे B2C वो भी food app करना as a strategy, that's a tremendous crack.
It all happened via first principles. I think so when we were launching in HSR layout, we were very clear that we have to target these early stage companies. All of these will be active on LinkedIn, and there are like 200 of them. If we could get 2 orders per office also, so we would reach to like about 400 orders a day. So 200 offices को कैसे target करें? तो हम लोग करेंगे फ्री सैम्पलिंग करेंगे या हम लोग लिंक्डइन पे पोस्ट करेंगे. दीज वर द थिंग्स दैट वी हैड बिकॉज वी डिड नॉट हैव एनी एक्सेस टू कैपिटल एट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम.
ये एचएसआर में ऐसा क्या है मसाला जो इतने सारे स्टार्टअप्स वहीं से निकलते हैं?
I don't know. I think it's a cascading effect also again. Because you end up working at all of these companies, you end up staying in areas that are adjacent to those locations, right? So अगर आपके कंपनीज जहाँ पे आप काम कर रहे हो वो भी HSR कोरमंगला इंदिरा नगर में है, तो आप उसके आसपास रहते हो, तो आपको अगर लगता है कि आपको कुछ बिजनेस स्टार्ट करना है जो ऑफलाइन है या जिसमें ऑफलाइन प्रेजेंस की रिक्वायरमेंट है, तो आप ऑब्वियसली आपके घर के आसपास करना चाहते हो ताकि आप मैनेज कर पाओ उसको इजीली. सो दैट्स व्हाई ऑल 3 of us were living in HSR at that point of time. It was obvious for us to sort of launch in HSR, and we had worked at like Jupiter's office was in HSR. I think Pillow's office was also in HSR. So it was very clear for us कि यार यहाँ पे हमें ऑडियंस पता है. We know what this area looks for. We have spent close to 3-4 years in that area. If we have to launch in an area, we know this area the best. Let's start it out. So I think just sort of high density of high quality people also existing because of startups existing in that area leads to like that cascading effect of companies starting from there.
वी फेल्ट दैट. मतलब ये बात गलत नहीं है कि एचएसआर में अगर कोई पत्थर फेंकोगे तो किसी स्टार्टअप वाले बंदे को ही गिरेगा है. और हमने ये बैंगलोर में देखा है. आई थिंक बैंगलोर इज द मार्केट इन इंडिया विच लव्स एक्सपेरिमेंट्स, विच एक्सेप्ट्स एक्सपेरिमेंट्स एंड ब्लोज दैट इनटू नेटवर्क इफेक्ट. इनफैक्ट जिप में भी हमें जो फास्टेस्ट ग्रोथ हुई है इज इन बैंगलोर इन टर्म्स ऑफ आवर ग्रीन व्हीकल्स, राइट? फ्रॉम 3,000 to 7,000 विद इन 3 months. इट just blew like that.
Yeah.
Right? तो कुछ तो है बैंगलोर में that नए experiments को बहुत ही attract करता है.
Yes.
Open to experimentation. Yes. है ना? And is that because of Cosmo, youth, engineering grads?
It is.
A lot more, of that caliber sitting
Definitely.
there.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's great. Are you planning to use AI in your business in any way?
We do. We do it in a lot of planning related work. So we have to plan people, ingredients, raw materials, pretty much a lot of things at a kitchen level, at a warehouse level and all of that. So we already use AI a lot in all of our activities. Of course, our team uses AI a lot for analytics, coding, a bunch of things. So I think there is going to we of course are going to sort of build more automation into our kitchens and all of that. So a lot of help is definitely going to come from the fast paced innovation that is happening in AI these days.
But एक चीज बताओ, तुम्हारे बिजनेस में कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी तो बहुत है, बट सबसे बड़ी कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी अकॉर्डिंग टू यू क्या है?
I think it's execution only.
Which part?
Daily operations.
Within that also, which part? The food making or
Food
delivering?
making.
Food making. That's the toughest part.
Yeah. Daily food operations is and executing that rigorously, accurately. So we have defined like parameters around it also. So every sort of food item that is being made, we measure the parameters of it like salt, pH levels, etc. to ensure that whatever food is being prepared is exactly within the defined range of taste, temperature and texture, and then only it can go out to the consumer. So that science is needed when you sort of plan to do like millions of orders a day of food in India.
Yeah. And tell me, anything from your childhood which pushed you कि मुझे entrepreneur बनना है, मुझे खुद का business बनाना है?
I think I always wanted to solve hard problems myself. I think I was never, I'm never a person who sort of content with where I am. I always want to do more, and when I wanted to do more, I think it always sort of lands up on taking something very, very complex or very, very challenging by design, and that has sort of pushed me to like sort of start something of my own.
But I would want to just double click more on this because you just shared that you are a batchmate, roommate, tower mate of one of my cousins, right? He's doing a job, you're building a startup, right? तो क्या लगा आयुष में और तुम में डिफरेंस कि तुम स्टार्टअप बना रहे हो, वो शायद अभी जॉब कर रहा है? what separates the two of you, knowing him and yourself much so closely?
No, nothing. Honestly, I think he is also one of the best people in the teams that he's working in. So I think we've spent a lot of time together in college and beyond, and we have both like learned a lot from each other. So I think there's nothing. Honestly, I think it's just at what point of time. At some point of time, everyone sort of decides that this is the time that I want to take some amount of risk in life, and probably I have sort of went down to that approach, and that's the only sort of difference I would say.
And what's the family background of yours?
My dad was a businessman, and mother is a homemaker.
Okay, great. So वहाँ से भी कुछ inclination मिला?
Yeah. So my parents have always sort of. So my dad has always been the one who tells me to do more than usual. So going back to childhood days, I think in my third or fourth standard, pretty much I've always been a very studious person in my childhood. So I was always able to like sort of be the topper in class and all of that. So my dad was like, there was some event happening where I used to perform these. I was good at memory. I am good at memory and doing some mental math and all of that. So there was this event happening where my dad was like कि स्कूल के फाइनल एग्जाम्स हैं, वो छोड़ दो, कोई बात नहीं, ये करते हैं. So he was always like pushing me to do more because he wanted to in his life.
Nice.
And he always wanted to sort of make me stand out from everyone else, and that has sort of creeped in me over time, and I am trying to sort of do that.
Push for more, right? आई थिंक मेरे साथ भी ऐसा ही हुआ है, बट कुछ बदलाव मैं तुम्हें बताता हूँ क्या हुआ है कि ऑब्वियसली बचपन में तो मुझे बहुत पुश किया माय मॉम स्पेशली कि यू हैव टू बी ऑन द टॉप, राइट, वन इतना पुश किया. फिर जब जाके मैं अब इतनी मेहनत करते हैं वो देखते हैं, वो बोलती हैं इतना क्यों पुश कर रहा है.
अब खाली एक ही पॉइंट आता है कि टाइम पे खाना खा लो, टाइम पे सो जाओ, अभी खाली वही होता है. यस,
तो आई थिंक दैट्स द डायकोटमी व्हिच हैपेंस फॉर पेरेंट्स कि वो जब बचपन में इतना पुश करते हैं, अब इतना पुश कर दिया यार, अब तो आपने आदत बना दी है.
एग्जैक्टली.
अब आप बोल रहे हो थोड़ा शांत हो ले,
वो नहीं आता.
Great, yeah.
I agree.
No, I think amazing. So I think now I'll get towards the final, which is the rapid fire. I'll ask a few rapid questions where we learn from you, and maybe audience would also, kind of get some learning. तो books, एक बुक बताओ. मैंने तुमसे पूछा, तुम ज्यादा बुक्स नहीं पढ़ते, बट एक बुक जो सबको पढ़नी चाहिए.
For founders, Hard Things About Hard Things. The best book out there.
Wow.
But I think you will absorb it differently at different points in your journey. So continue reading it at different points in time.
Oh wow, that's amazing. How do you get learning the most? Which are your sources of getting that?
I think talking to founders who have done this before. So for example, Abhiraj and Varun are from Urban Company, are angel investors in Swish.
Wow.
So we learn from them a lot. There are other founders also who are sort of very actively involved in helping us out, and we continue to learn from peer founders and senior founders.
Guys, that's in fact the best way of learning, right? A lot of people say that I learn from books, I learn from podcasts, I learn from videos. The best way to learn is speaking directly to the people who've done it. And I think that's exactly what you're doing, which is bang on, right? Which is
100%.
why you're sitting here, right? Because you're doing the right thing. Any movie which is very close to your heart?
I
For
think
learning or for whatever?
since childhood, Three Idiots has been.
Uh-huh.
I think it was one of the movies that touched me a lot when I was in school and had gone to the theater to watch it with family.
Right. Oh wow. Most dial contact कौन सा हो सकता है?
Co-founders
Co-founders.
all
Yeah.
the time.
Huh?
Both of my co-founders.
How do you chill together?
We get very less time, honestly, these
Phir
days. But we try and find a day in a month where we go out and spend some time in the night at a restaurant or something like that.
Oh, nice.
Very less time these days.
सबसे ज्यादा ऐप कौन सी खोलते हो अपने फोन में? स्विश के
Swish.
अलावा?
Okay.
पता था मुझे. सब फाउंडर को अपनी ऐप तो खोलनी है.
Which other app? I think I spend some time on Twitter. Yes, I do.
Okay. Still? Yeah. सबसे weird customer feedback या experience जो तुम बता सकते हो अपने business में?
I think it is the most interesting one is that one only. जब हम लोग जिम में जाके एक्टिवेशन कर रहे थे और फिर भी लोग आके बोल रहे थे कि हमें तो क्रेविंग ही खाना है.
मैगी खानी है.
Yes.
पेरेंट्स ने सबसे ज्यादा क्या सिखाया? One advice.
This exactly same thing. The push for more.
Push for more.
If you have the ability to sort of stand out, make it happen.
Sounds good. Last thing that मेरे चैनल पे ना we talk a lot about business ideas. If you can give couple of business ideas to the youngsters जो तुम अब नहीं बनाओगे, तुम तो Swish बना रहे हो, but let's help others. Give 1 or 2 business ideas that you're intrigued about.
Yeah, I think lots of things are happening these days in AI. Of course, because the pace of innovation in terms of models has been extremely rapid. There is pretty much anything and everything that happens today most of it can happen, can be redone in a much better manner through AI. So there are consumer applications also that AI can essentially do a lot in. There are, of course, B2B services use cases are a lot. So I think it's more to do with like trying to find out what problem statement you can essentially solve for the businesses or the consumers. I think identifying and working backwards from there. I do have a recurring list of ideas and all of that. So we keep brainstorming, but it is not like that any idea that I think about will be a good fit or not a good fit. I think it essentially boils down to sort of speaking to more and more people, trying to understand what do they do, where they spend the most time in, which could be automated in case of AI, for example, and how could you make that happen. Like some of the biggest companies that have sort of grown very rapidly in the last 3-4 years in AI have been people sort of trying to automate or reduce manual effort from a bunch of use cases for prosumer as a category, for example. So I think there is massive scope today, and if there is any exciting category to build in today, it is going to be applications of AI. I think people should definitely figure out and stay on top of the advancements that are happening these days. Baki India mein to there's plenty of things to be done around consumer and all of that, but if you have to sort of stay ahead of the curve at this point of time, I think you should be sort of figuring out opportunities in AI.
Absolutely. Yeah, AI is the next big thing, and if this is the time, I'm so intrigued for new Gen Zs and Gen Alphas to just pick up AI, pick a core problem, just go deep into it and launch it, man. This is a goldmine opportunity. It's like the 1990s of internet, and AI is in that stage, just built, right? It's disrupting the current Indian tech companies anyways now, right? So there's huge stuff that can be built over that. Okay, so any question that you want to ask me, I usually give that opportunity to the guests. Anything.
What has been some of the, like, how do you, when you sort of refer back to your journey, what are the best moments that you recollect and what are some of the worst moments that you recollect? Maybe one of each.
Okay. So I think कल ही हम लोग बात कर रहे थे, ये टिपिकली वी हैव दिस फ्राइडे और दिस मंडे कैच अप समटाइम्स इन द कैफेटेरिया, हम लोग बैठ जाते हैं. आई थिंक कोविड के टाइम पे देयर वाज अ वेरी वेरी टफ सिचुएशन वेयर वन ऑफ आवर एम्प्लॉइज हैड गॉन रोग बिकॉज सभी कंपनियां थोड़ा सा कैश कट कर रही थी उस समय. तो हमें भी इन्वेस्टर्स ने बोला था कि आप थोड़ा बहुत कुछ करो, यू शुड कंजर्व कैश. तो हमने ये सारी सिचुएशन एक कॉल पे ही आए थे, सबको बोला कि गाइस हम लोग ना अगले 2 महीने के लिए वी विल डिडक्ट सम परसेंटेज ऑफ योर सैलरीज ऐसे ऐसे, बट वी विल कॉम्पनसेट दैट बैक विद ईसॉप्स. तो ये हमने सबको बोल दिया. आई थिंक समहाउ एवरीवन अग्रीड, बट वन ऑफ आवर सीनियर एम्प्लॉइज जस्ट वेंट रोग ऑन दैट थिंग, और उसने पूरा का पूरा ऑप्स डाउन करने की कोशिश करी, created a lot of ruckus, and then finally that was one of the very tough and gory moments for us to solve it during the time of COVID, how to navigate that, how to get into a closure and finally part ways or do whatever, right? So I remember a lot of bad moments that we've had in this journey which were kind of killing. But yeah, that's one thing that I can talk about. And I think one of the most beautiful moments is very recent. I took my entire leadership team to Thailand. We all went to a beach, an island called Koh Larn, and we were all sitting on a boat, a speedboat, coming back from Koh Larn back to the city, and the kind of conversations that we were having and the kind of laughs that we were all enjoying, and I just recorded everyone's face while during that conversation. I think that's a moment and a memory that I'll take forever with me, right? So yeah, startups are those journeys where you win some, you lose some, but you got to keep acting every day on it, right?
Beautiful.
That's something that's my part.
Awesome.
Okay, so the last thing, man, that we do is, because this is the founder's diary, the founder's notes, right? What we would like you to do is one note that you would want to give it to me, right? जो आपका सबसे important note है, जो आपके note में सबसे ऊपर आप लिखोगे. We would want you in, with your signature in this diary of ours, right? So maybe one page is gonna be now in the name of Aniket Swish. So why don't you write it, please? Amazing. Thank you so much, Aniket. In operation, heavy businesses, focus and execution is everything. There will be moments where a different business line will seem exciting, but to have right clarity and patience is most important in that moment. So rightly said, man, because हम लोग भी zip जब बना रहे हैं, हमारे पास ना इतना ops heavy है हमारा भी business. There are bikes, there are drivers, there are mechanics, there are spare parts. But बहुत बार इनिशियल जर्नी में ये कर लेते हैं, बाइक बना लेते हैं, फिनटेक बना लेते हैं, ये कर लेते हैं, और वो ना बड़ी एंटाइसिंग लगते थे हम लोग को. हम लोग बहुत डिस्कशन करते थे, ये क्यों करते हैं, ये नहीं करते. बट द ओनली थिंग that made us stronger or possibly the market leader in this segment is just that we just focused on our core कि भाई इसी को solve करेंगे. और I think I used to put a foot down whenever these discussions used to come out कि भाई नहीं, अगर बंदे की प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो रही है, वहाँ पे ड्राइवर खुश है सड़क पे जब मैं जाके मिल रहा हूँ, और अगर ईवी हो रहा है, अगर इन सारे लोगों को ये चाहिए तो इसी को सॉल्व करते बन जाएगा. You're so right. Thank you so much for that note.
Thank you
it's
for inviting me.
Very important for a lot of other people. And thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed.
Definitely.
Yeah, you had great learnings. I hope you all enjoyed the show. Aniket's journey, a young guy, 24-year-old, building Swish, right out of Bangalore and now launching in Delhi, Gurgaon soon. A 10-minute food delivery promise, first of in category, too much competition, but still thriving and killing it. Hope you're learning. So keep liking, keep subscribing, and share it with your friends. One last thing before I end this is a small token from Zip. That's what we do. More green in your life.
Thank you.
With this. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.